Right, just quickly going over this. This is my potential budget system to get off of YNAB, just because YNAB is very expensive. It's somewhere between $110, $120 a year in Canadian. So I've created this spreadsheet that we can have on Google Sheets. So the way this is set out, and I have these little instructions with examples of how to build this up. But first of all, we'd have the accounts. So on this sheet we have January, February, March. So it's basically taking the opening and closing amounts of each account. The best way to start this would be on January the 1st, but you could start halfway through the year. And we've got our checking account, savings account and credit card. So these selections and all drop downs in this system come from here. So we've got this data sheet. Payee would be like your vendors or where you're buying and receiving money from. The categories are going to be to categorize what the expense is, just so that we can have a proper budget. And here we have company, that could be anything. It's probably badly named, but we've got credit card, checking and saving. Now, so the accounts we've got here, so on January the 1st, what would happen is, and I've tried to keep it uniform through these sheets, you only ever have to fill in the yellow boxes. Anything grey is a formula. So let's say as at January the 1st in my checking account, I have $450. My savings are 7,000. And credit card is 0. We've got a clean credit card at the beginning of the year. Now, as you see, that's filled in the opening amounts throughout the year, because the formula in these going on, it's equal to D3. So the opening for February is equal to the closing of January. The closing of January is our opening amount that we put in. Our movement, of course, this is just for January, so this would be looking at our January tab and finding anything that's relating to the checking account and then adding that up. And then the closing balance will be, of course, the opening plus the movement. So if that's a negative, then it would, of course, bring that money down. Then that would make the opening for February equal to that, and so forth and so forth. So basically from here we're just telling it what we opened with, and from then on you can pretty much ignore this sheet for data entry. It should be doing everything for you from that moment on. Now the budget, I've just thrown this together. This column A, might get rid of that. I'm not sure, that was just playing around. So again on here we've got January, February, March, April, May. It's like going all the way across throughout the year. Again, only filling in the yellow, so let's pretend this is January. All we've got to do for our budget income is put in a guesstimate. Let's say $3,000. So I'm saying roughly $3,000 is my income for January. Hit enter, and that's saying remaining, so we've got $3,000 that's I've said I may get, but I haven't had an actual income as of yet because we haven't filled anything in. This row here for monthly, you'll see this fill in as we start typing information in. To January, this will all come together as I move forwards, but let's have a look. So we've got let's say this is my budget. Remember, this is what I'm guesstimating of what I'm going to be spending each month. So car insurance $200, life insurance is $50, property tax is $150, groceries $400. Remember, this is for the month. 100. I know these in today's economy, these are probably very low. 1,000. Sure, so that's my cable bill. Let's say 80. Let's say 67. Spotify is 15. My cell phone 25. Utilities 300. Right, so there's my budget now. I've set that up, and as you see, the remaining is the same as the budget, because what this value is, it's the budget minus the actual. So that's telling me in January I budgeted $200 and I still have $200 left to spend of that. So let's go to January and start putting in some information. Let's say 01 Jan 2023. My payee is company I work for, category income. They paid me $2,000. Oops. The paid is money I've paid, so that's outgoing. Money I've received, because it's income, so it's $2,000. And the account affected, where did that money actually go? That's so that the accounts page can show what's going on. So the checking and memo is optional. Then let's do on the same day. I have sure my cable bill. I'm not sure what I had in here. Cable, internet. Right, so I'll just put sure in there. I could probably fix that up because I think maybe at one point I had cable TV as well, so that's a bundle. And that I paid, let's just jump back, how much did I budget for? So sure, we budgeted $80. So let's say the bill comes in and it's 78, 75. That's what I paid, and that came out of my checking account. And then let's say also on this day, payee, I'm going to show, I set this up to allow for a transfer. So I want to put some money into my savings account. So I'm going to transfer, and this is transfer. I paid out, so it's coming out of my checking account, because we need to do two lines. This is like a double entry bookkeeping. We've got paid 78.75. Let's say I put $500, and this is affecting my checking account because I'm paying out of it. Now here's our second line that reflects the transfer. And this, the money came in to my savings account. So there's just a couple of things. I had income come in, I paid my Sure bill, and then I've transferred some money to my savings. So let's have a look at these other sheets to see how that is affected. So here we've got our income, and we said it is going to be about 3,000 for the month. My actual is 2,000, so I'm showing here I may have over budgeted or whatever, but there's $1,000 sitting there that I thought I was going to need, but I don't actually need. Sorry, it's smoky here in Calgary, so it's really affecting my throat. So here is this 2,387. That should be the sum of everything below here. So that's showing monthly. This was my budget, what I was guessing I would have spent. Here's our 78.75, and that of course is the sum of this. We can see that is an actual for sure, and we have a remaining of $1.25. So I said it was going to be about $80. My actual, when the bill came in that I put in for January, was 78.75. So I still got $1.25 sitting there. I can see that I over budgeted for that. Now, how would this work to make sure that you've budgeted everything, kind of mimicking what YNAB would do. At the end of the month, I have an actual and a budget. What I would do in this case, let's just make it a bit more realistic. Let's say 3,500. I'm not saying that's realistic for my salary, but it's just so that we can show these numbers here. So here, as you see, it's already highlighted, so it's saying, well, I budgeted 3,000, but I got 3,500. So it's saying, well, you've may want to adjust that budget amount. So at the end of the month, I would make the budget amount the same as the actual. That way I'm saying, okay, out of everything, all the money I got in, I'm allocating everything that I possibly can. So the end goal at the end of the month is to have all of these at zero. As we see our actual, we just have the 78.75. That is shown here, and the 500 is in and out. It's going into, it's just a transfer from one account to another. So our budget sheet, we jump here and I can see, okay, well, I haven't paid these bills and there's money still left over from this kind of stuff. So what I can do is just adjust that 78.75. Now that goes to zero, so it's like, okay, well, I've put money back in my pocket that can go elsewhere. So there's the basics of the budget, and that would be each month. You're just going to come in here because it's on Google Sheets. You could do it from your phone as well. Just going to enter in expenses and things going on in the bank as they happen. Budget again will update. These are, I put these down as like a top priority, like monthly things I have to do, and then a medium priority. How you deal with this sheet is up to you. Now if we jump over to accounts, so we can see for the checking account, we open with 450. We manually typed that in. That was, I checked my bank and it said $450 on the 1st of January. So that's a given. So this movement of 2921.25 for the checking account, we can reconcile to that. So here's all our checking amounts, and that should be the sum of all of that. Now don't forget we're not adding up here, so if we just go calculator, let me bring that over just so we can see. So we had 3,000 go in, we're going to minus 78.75 and minus 500. Remember, we're only focusing that column F where it says checking, because we're just making sure that that adds up. So here we do that 242.125. Jump back to here. Oh, did I make a mistake in my typing? Let's go January. Oh yes, I did. I think I've done 3,000. I did, yeah, there. So that was my mistake. The received amount for the checking, so money coming in, was 3,500. We paid out 78.75 and we paid out 500 only from the checking, so that's 292.125. Here we go, here's our 292.125, and our ending balance here is, that means that the checking at the end of the month, let's say that's all that happened, is I'm good because I've got money in my checking account. Now my savings here, the 7,000, again, that would have been January the 1st. I logged in, I checked my bank account, just typed that in, there was $7,000. We're going to continue on from there. The movement is 500. So if we go to here and we just focus on savings, we can see $500 came in because it came out of the checking, went into savings, go to accounts. So now we have 7,500. Of course, I can't reconcile to that closing balance because this is just mythical entries, but you can add lines to this. So if you've got whatever, maybe a few bank accounts or credit cards or whatever it is, just add them in and as long as you add them into the data here, you should be good. And that's it. So that's what I'm hoping to do as of January the 1st.